Somebody needed a link, but it's okay. Let me introduce everybody. Let me just tell her, hold on, hold on.
But I can introduce us. Let me just run
No,
because
no, no. I got it. I got it.
this
We're
this
good.
is this is essentially how Ken handed over this mentoring responsibility to me. He said, "Hold on, I'm too busy. Matt, can you just take this over?" And
So,
that's kind of how it happened. About what is it, 3 years ago now, Ken? Has it really been that long? I was thinking this
yeah,
through.
so this is like I started this program with Tran like right from the beginning, pretty much. And yeah, maybe it was like 6 months into me taking over or something like that. Yeah, so it was definitely 2001.
Yeah,
And
so I think I'm
y-
going on 3 years, kind of growing
yeah,
this thing out. A lot
I'm
of it was
sure you will.
by myself early on, and then working with Tran a lot. And then we kind of grew it out from there. I made Adam come help me, and then he helped me for a long time, and then came and joined. But yeah, really, so we wanted to kind of take some time and run through what the mentorship program is, and then kind of how it aligns with the chapter a little bit. Is that fair, Ken?
Exactly. Yeah,
All
because
right.
this is one of the best programs out there. So if you haven't taken advantage of it, whether you're experienced for 20 years or you're new to the field, this program is for you. So you get it's so rewarding either way, and I highly, highly recommend that you take a look at this really closely because it is so rewarding on so many different levels. So that's why I
So,
wanted Matt to have his own talk with his, to
well,
introduce the committee members
like
here.
like you'll say, it's Matt, it's me and many others who work very
Yeah, yeah,
hard, and
yeah.
we'll get into that in a second. But did you? Can everyone see what the presentation? Did it
Yes.
work? Okay, just checking. Um, so we just got off a breakout session. In there, I met David Moalem, who I know his name inside and out. Right, he's been menteeing and mentoring inside this community. Ken, when did you bring him in?
Oh, Dave, he's been
Yeah,
around forever from the
forever.
beginning. I think, yeah, I was just talking to him about it. Like
And
he's like
so
the
we
one of the
we kind of
oldest members.
right, and so we kind of felt like we knew each other, but we'd never really talked. And so the breakout room is a great place for that to happen. And I hope everyone gets to kind of they're not sometimes breakout rooms are random, and you don't always get that. But it was wonderful to kind of meet him and get his feedback about how he menteed, and then was like, you know what, I have to give back, and then use this to kind of come give back to the community. So I didn't make up that story. This is just what happened in the last 5 minutes. So these are the things that I think are just wonderful to see happen. So we've got put together a little presentation here, but I want to kind of start right. Like as Ken said, like this is one of the earliest things that the chapter started. It truly did get handed off to me in a similar fashion. I just kind of took a passion to it and really wanted to help and contribute. And this is where this is where it landed. And one of the things I think we've championed inside the chapter, and Ken can maybe echo that sentiment, is that we really wanted to formalize what we were doing. It was, it's a difficult thing to do, to run these groups and get everyone to connect. And so we had to build processes. We had to get people involved. And so we created really a charter. And I wanted to kind of share that with here and make sure everyone understands, kind of how we're trying to make sure this really runs well. Um, you know, Officially, the mentoring program is here to make sure our mentors and mentees and that experience guides. I will say that we often break away from that. We think that, like I always say, that mentees can teach mentors too. There's a lot of learnings of things that can cross age gaps, and I think that helps a lot too. Helps people change how they think about things. And then there are people like Edwin Brockner who have more certifications than everyone else here. And so there's always, even though
Combined.
he's, yeah, even though he might not have 35 years in the industry, it sure looks like it. So, it's just tremendous amount of knowledge and sharing inside of this group that is just such a wonderful privilege to be able to share, to help everyone share all of that with each other. Um, and inside of our committee, right? And I'll show that in a minute, but we expect that at least 1 hour per week. Right now, we're driving a lot of initiatives, and so that definitely etches up over the weekend. Um, you know, if we're not participating, if people aren't being and helping the committee drive forward, we ask them to leave. That's something that we're passionate about, right? You've got to work in the committee. You're not there just to give your opinion and not give work and not produce. And that's why we make sure everyone helps there. And then we share our meeting minutes. So all of the meeting minutes get shared. Happy to open them up to anyone who asks. And it's we've got a log going back 2 years of everything we meet about or what's going on. And, we have championed formalizing that. And I think a lot of other committees are following suit. Just some faces, right? I wanted to, obviously, this group has grown and shifted. We've gone from 15 down to 3 and back up to 6, but this group has been working together. What do you say, Adam? Is it about a year and a half now?
Yep, about a year.
Pretty solidly, about a year and a half we've been working together. I think if you haven't seen Annecy and other committees, you probably haven't been paying attention to other committees. She works very hard here. Ralph, I know, helps with public speaking, and Harry and Gazika are just regulars that really show up and make sure everything drives forward. It's wonderful. We've become a very close group. We meet weekly, and we make sure that we all get all this work done and get it all pushed forward. Adam, this is your slide or Ralph's?
Ralph, you're up.
Ralph, you're up.
So good evening, everyone. Ralph Miliota. From a public speaking, I started as very shy and reserved a little bit, and then as I got more involved with the program and with the different activities, I became like everyone likes to say, the guy that will never shut up. So I'm going to keep this one short. Public speaking is one of those things that you have to develop. You cannot be in this field and be quiet. You have to be able to voice your opinion. You have to be able to pitch for yourself. And because we're not sure that we're going to be at our current positions, current jobs, or current responsibilities for the rest of our lives, you have to be able to be out there and advocate for yourself and be able to think on your feet, be able to be in an elevator with someone, introduce yourself, and not care who they are and just strike up a conversation about anything and everything. And that is what's going to get you noticed not only within the organization, but it gives you a good sense, a good boost to your morale to say, hey, I could talk to people, I could communicate, I could just articulate what is in my mind.
And just to jump on the top of that, right? This is another program that runs within the chapter that we emphasize people, should take part of. And it's a great option for mentors and mentees to point each other toward as another kind of thing within the chapter.
Especially from a mentor and mentee standpoint, you have to be able to strike up a conversation with this person that you were paired to say, hey, hi, how are you? My name is Ralph. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I'm looking to get out of this. So the more you're able to articulate, your desires and what you're trying to get out of it, the more you're going to get out of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph.
So giving back to the community, our chapter is very proactive in that we encourage it amongst our members. And so we believe volunteering in our mentorship program is vital for our members in their personal career growth. And therefore, as participants, it will benefit both mentors and mentees by enhancing leadership skills, expanding networks, and staying up to date with industry trends. We do encourage our members to volunteer in the mentoring program because we truly believe that the more we volunteer, the stronger our chapter becomes. It will boost retention, participation, and leadership development. every effort contributes to a community that supports, educates, and empowers us all.
Yeah, and I think this all stems from Ken's belief in how we run this group, right? That it's based on volunteering and participating, and that's just such a valuable thing that giving back giving gets back to you. So thank you, Annecy, for running through that. Adam, I think you and your little cohort are up next. You ready?
We are ready.
All right, so I'll do a quick little introduction. We're gonna kind of demo for everyone what a mentoring session looks like. We thought it'd be interesting just to kind of share how that runs. So I'll stop sharing and you guys can take over.
Yeah, so when we were putting this presentation together, when Ken Vaughn told us that we would be doing this in September, I immediately thought about doing a demo of a live session, and I reached out to a couple of folks that we had available out there, and just channeled my inner Ken and voluntold them that they might want to join us in this meeting here today in order to do it. This is where the magic happens. This is where it all kind of comes in, when the mentee and the mentor get together and that first spark happens and they start talking about where they want to go, what they want to be, what does that future look like, and this is where it all happens. So we put together a couple of pairings. I'm going to introduce the first one to do, and they're basically going to do is just kind of show you what they did. These folks actually were mentees and mentors together. So there's a little bit of role play here that's going to be happening, but hopefully this will give you a little bit of insight to what actually goes on in our program. And with that, I'm going to start with Ed Brockner and Lex Brody.
Hello, hello. All right, so
hi.
Are you here? You are here. All right. So we're just going to kind of role play as if we weren't mentor and mentee yet, kind of how we just approached each other and like went with the discussion. All right. So okay, Alex, or is it Lexi, Alessandra? I see it like different areas. I just want to make sure I call you what you're comfortable with.
Alex sounds great.
All right, cool. To start off, I'll just give a brief introduction about myself, and then from there, you'll give an introduction about yourself and kind of what you're expecting to get back from this, and we can kind of go from there. So,
Awesome.
a few years ago, I started off doing IT, so it could have been a mixture of help desk, system administration. I started getting certifications to kind of build upon that. So a lot of cybersecurity focused, Security Plus, CISSP, and then because I was in kind of like an accounting, tax, and advisory firm role company, the partner in the advisory branch, he was like, why isn't this kid on my team? So then he poached me from internal to like the external facing, where I was doing like IT AC, IT GC assessments, external penetration testing, gap analysis with GDPR and CCPA. And then that's kind of how I got into my role now, where I'm working, privacy. So doing those gap analysis kind of just put me in the privacy mind space. And then from there, I've kind of switched to Valley Bank, where I kind of do everything, for privacy program management, whether it be the data inventory and classification, doing the privacy impact assessments, cookie management, and because of the technical background, sitting on the architecture review board. So I really kind of do everything, within privacy. So
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great to know. Yeah, and you already kind of had a career transition experience, sort of, and even though you stayed in the same field, and I'm a little bit in that bucket. I'm a career transitioner. I went from, background in digital communications. I worked for many years in nonprofits. And then, at some point, I just was up for a change and I started exploring the InfoSec field. And I stumbled upon malware analysis, which I really got passionate about. But, as I started my first role within cyber, I was more oriented towards CTI, doing OSINT research for vulnerability assessments and such. And now I am trying to pivot a little bit more towards the more technical side and dig more into, you know, the technical aspects of CTI, doing malware reverse engineering. As you know, I acquired a few certifications through SANS. And at this point, I'm really looking to pivot more into technical roles. So my question to you, Ed, is like, how would you approach something like this, especially for somebody like you who went from IT to a privacy focused role? Like, what are kind of like the secrets or, you know, some good strategies that I could put in place to accomplish this ulterior transition, I should say?
Yeah. Like you mentioned, you're kind of in a adjacent field to RE. You know, I have no experience in RE. I know like you have Yara for research tools, but apart from that, it's like I'm not that low level. So we can kind of go from like transferable skills area and just kind of like an outside perspective. So I think the main thing is like first identifying what those transferable skills that, you know, you're doing the OSINT now. Like, are you looking at the job descriptions of these, you know, very niche malware reverse engineering roles? Kind of what are you doing now that kind of ties into that, right? How can you kind of spice up your resume so that it includes the, you know, the key terms and searches that the recruiters are going to be looking for, or that they're running through the applicant tracking system, like when it's searching those keywords. And another thing is, well, you know, I was talking about the resume. That is one of like the most important things. If you're not getting a job through a connection, because the resume is going to be the first piece of information that a recruiter or hiring manager is going to see about you. So it's kind of has to be perfect in a sense. And then also from there, it's kind of a numbers game. So you just throw out your resume, you know, because, you know, dozens and hundreds of people are also going to be applying for the same thing. So first, I think the transferable skills would be a big one. But I'm more curious how like you just stumbled into RE. Like you just said, oh no, it just popped up one day. I don't think that's something that someone just pops up one day into.
Although it kind of is, because, you know, in my case, it was just through a CTF. I'm a member of Women in Cybersecurity, and whenever they have some interesting, fun program, I just participate. And that's what happened to me with a Cybersecurity and Target Challenge. And that was at this point last year. It was all revolving around malware, which I didn't know when I joined, and I had never opened binary in, you know, a disassembler before. But through that challenge, I felt like that was something that could keep me hooked and could keep me learning for a long, long time. And that's why eventually I thought that that could be a good place, a good fit for me in terms of, you know, having technical challenges, as well as kind of like catapulting me into a completely different realm that made me a little bit uncomfortable, but in a good way, in a way that kind of like stretches my skills, my abilities, and, you know, my mental capacity to like be flexible in a bunch of different situations. And I think you made a great point about, you know, transferable skills, because sometimes I don't think enough about how I use OSINT skills and research skills in general for the CTI aspects of malware. You know, you look for a C2 and you kind of like start pivoting around between domains and IPs, and you look for connected infrastructure and things like that. So I think that is a great point. Also on the resume side of things, like, do you have any other like specific strategies that I could use? Because sometimes people say, oh, really try and customize your resume, but to like the job position. But for example, do you have any like more like broader approaches that I could leverage to do that?
Yeah. So like main thing I do when I was applying for jobs or just looking for jobs in general is I had a master resume. I went through all these different job descriptions, kind of identifying like the key points that, you know, were in those job descriptions, and kind of just throwing them into my resume, because it's much easier to remember what you've done or identify what you've done when it's already, there on the page. Like you're looking through job descriptions and you say, hey, I did that. But if you were like just trying to jog that from your memory, like in itself, it's kind of hard to think of it. So I kind of just combine it. I just go through many job descriptions, combine into one, and then I will filter out, different types of resumes for different types of jobs. So it seems more tailored, but I'm not going to tailor my resume for each one. And since this is still like an introductory call, and because we're on an IC2 meeting, I think what we can do is for our next meeting is have your resume, pull up a few job description postings, and then we can kind of run through that, just see if we can tailor it right. And it's kind of like if it's what you're looking for. And then from there, we can kind of just shoot for guideposts or things for future meetings that we want to do.
Yay. Well, I can tell all of you that actually worked. And a little over a year after we actually had this conversation, I now have a position as a malware reverse engineer and CTI analyst. So
and if you ever seen Alex talk, she had standing room only at the conference last time. I mean, it was packed. So huge success story, Alex.
Thank you, both of you. I think that was wonderful going through that with us there. We want to do one more. We're going to do Audi Batista and Kevin Conway. If you guys could go ahead and take it from here.
Sure, that's a tough act to follow.
I know.
Great job, guys. So first I'll start and say Kevin and I know each other a while from the program. So that we don't make it weird, I'm going to call him Mark, since this is a mock, because we actually did not have a mentor-mentee sessions, but I wanted to kind of do a mock. So I will call him Mark throughout this. So let's get started. So welcome, Mark. I'm Audi Bautista. First off, I'll tell you a little about myself. I've been in IT and security for about 28 years, the last 20 specifically in management, mostly for MSPs. My current role, I'm Executive Vice President of Security Operations at a large MSSP where I oversee client-facing operations, including 24/7 Security Operations Center, security engineering, InfoSec operations in charge of vulnerability management, pen testing, and security awareness training. So, Mark, I'm glad you're taking the first steps into cybersecurity career. So I see for your mentee profile that you've recently graduated. Congratulations, man. And you listed your career goals as being a future SOC analyst. Tell me more.
So,
Maybe we could.
hi, Audi. Thanks for.
We have a can of salt, but it's very heavy.
Where's our where's our muter?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you. I'll start again. Hi, Audi. I'm Mark Mentee. And yes, I just graduated with a computer degree in computer science back in May. And I'm excited to find some type of work and career. I'm particularly interested in security monitoring, threat analysis, pen testing. I'm thinking maybe starting as a SOC analyst or I don't know. That might be a good place to start. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great starting point. Like, first off, the transitioning from school to the professional world could be really challenging, but very exciting. So listen, I do recommend you start with some online resources to get exposed to the many areas of cybersecurity, because you might find other areas of interest, of course. And I'll give you some resources to start, but I also recommend getting hands-on experience. So tools like TryHackMe, Hack the Box, and you really should consider some certifications like the A+, get you familiar with some IT fundamentals. Then eventually Security Plus, CISA Plus you can look into as well. And that could really bolster your resume. Have you had a chance to look into any of those?
Not yet. So where do you think I should start with that?
All right, well, you know what? Why don't we start with getting some short-term goals down on paper? So we can outline some steps like getting a good list of online training resources. There's tons of free resources out there. I love YouTube University. There's tons of stuff out there. 20 years ago, we didn't have that stuff. So you guys really have an advantage now. So, you know, we could decide on which certification to tackle first. Networking with professionals through LinkedIn, attending local cybersecurity meetups like the recent picnic IC Square had. It was a pretty good networking opportunity. Also, don't forget the chapter has tons of resources like the public speaking workshops, you know, really build your confidence in communication. Also, another important aspect is building portfolio of projects. Have you thought about working on any personal projects?
Not well. I've dabbled a little bit on the side, but I didn't know I could put that together and maybe put that on a resume or something.
Oh, absolutely. I've been a hiring manager a long time. When I see those things on the resume, it really impresses me. So, you know, you really should consider putting like a home lab together, virtual lab, you know, document your results and your learning progress. Also, get involved with cybersecurity challenges like CTFs, capture the flags. Will give you some good practical experience, but both of these will give, you know, look really great in your resume. You ever participated in a CTF before?
No, I haven't, but I've heard of them.
Oh man, they're really fun. Definitely worth looking into for sure. And there's many online platforms that offer beginning friendly CTFs that you can get started, you know, and we can add that to your goals to participate in at least one of these in the next month or so, if you feel you're up to it. And we can review more specifics during our next session. But I also want to spend some time with you going over some soft skills that are important for any future role you get. So skills like verbal, written communication, attention to detail, responsiveness, the importance of collaboration and teamwork. We could also do a mini mock interview. So we'll make sure to touch on these when we next meet. What do you think, Mark?
That sounds great, Audie. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we're set.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Howdy, Kevin, Alex, and Ed. I really appreciate all of you.
No problem.
Welcome.
Thanks,
right.
Mark.
Thank you. Thank you,
And Mark.
everyone. Yeah, thank you. That was very informative. I loved that. I hope everyone did too. So we just wanted to kind of, you know, finish up and kind of explain some of the things we go through. We have another one of our committee members, Harry, who's going to run through that. Harry, you with us?
Hey. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure I was supposed to do this slide. Um,
Impromptu speaking. Here you go, Harry.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, I just focused on the communication side. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of like, you know, what we do is, you know, we match mentors. We definitely take a significant effort to make sure that we match mentors with mentees that haven't met before, mostly to give diversity to, you know, your network. And building your network is such a huge thing for our community. And, you know, one of the things is when you get together with your mentor and mentee, you set expectations. You say, hey, you know, what days are you going to get together? Are you going to like Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights? Like, when are you available? Having effective communication is such an important thing, especially when you first get introduced. So we will send out an email to both the mentor and mentee as an introduction email. We give a whole bunch of links about including what it's like to make your first introduction, as well as joining our Discord server. And it's important to have that good communication. And also setting the time commitment, because I know like a lot of times people are often so busy with their schedules. I mean, I'm traveling for work all the time. I'm in Norfolk when I normally live in Pittsburgh. But like, you know, finding that time that you could commit, and like that is like such an important thing, because it is such a value to both the mentors and the mentees, because it's important to connect. Yeah, and then measuring success. I mean, this is something that we look at feedback all the time. So whenever you end your session, I mean, like this is something that we find very important because we take that feedback and we literally go through it and apply it to our program. And we've made changes and adapted as we've continued to grow this program. Yeah, and of course, providing adequate support. So like if somebody doesn't reach out to you, like reach out to our committee, and yeah, we usually help out. So also, hi, I'm Mary Kasky.
Oh, so the future plans and looking ahead.
So yes, so we're working to expand our mentorship program in looking ahead. And one of that is increasing our mentoring and mentee, the parents, and targeting the underrepresented groups. And we're also looking into enhancing training and in sessions on leadership as need be. And so as our program, as it grows, we're looking at how we can help our members grow and help our industries in terms of their communication also. We also want to boost the visibility in our mentorship program. We're looking to have visibility on LinkedIn and any of the social media platforms. We're looking to promote the mentorship program through our social events and any other networking events that we have, and also through handouts and anywhere that the members gather in any future ISC activities that we have. And of course, we're looking to implement metrics to track our long-term success, such as career advancement and of course, retention rates. And we are extremely happy to say that we've partnered with Cooper. It's a mentoring platform that will help us automate the matching and streamline the communication between mentors and mentee, and will help us use tools such as Teams, Zoom, and with Cooper, it will enable us to gather real-time feedback and analytics to continuously improve the program so that we can better cater towards the needs of our members. So we invite our members to give us feedbacks. We encourage you to join, to fill out the survey forms when they do, we do send them out. And we also have the opt-in forms that we also send out. And we want you to share your experiences and let us know how we're doing so that we can better serve you. And we definitely want you to get involved and help us shape the program's future that we have for you, and so that our community can grow, and as we evolved, we can definitely grow and build ourselves as we evolved in our professional careers. Next.
Thank you, NC. I'm just gonna quickly share that we've only just gotten access to Cooper. It's Cooper with a Q. And so we've just gotten access to it literally a couple days ago. So I don't have a whole ton to share, but I figured I would. We got some muting there, but I'll just share kind of what it looks like when we log in. Everyone can see that. So again, no data in here yet, but we're going to have certifications of completion. So certifications are going to be built into what we do. obviously mentoring, right? So you'll see all your groups. There's also a learning portal, which we're excited to be able to share. So this allows mentors, mentees to be able to give things to each other to go through. So there's personality type assessments, feedback practices, different types of mentorships, goal setting. So we're excited about having that in there. There's also an Android and iOS app that's available for for everyone to manage their schedules, book time with each other. And so we're excited about that too. It'll allow good communication between everyone, we think. So we're really excited about this. It's going to take a little bit of time to get it all launched, but sooner than we think. So come jump on board and make sure you're part of everything that we've got going there. And just to finish up, I just wanted to kind of share that we have, and we'll share the presentation out, as I'm sure everyone will, but just here's how to sign up. And we can share some links. Adam, you're going to pop some links in the chat too on how to sign up for to be a mentor mentee. And then just some other links. We're going to join us on Discord and LinkedIn. And that's I can
Got a
leave this
question
up.
for you, Matt.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, first of all, fantastic presentation. I did not expect all this to happen. You guys really knocked it out of the park. I really have to say that I started to shed a tear, I'm not kidding, because it was really just amazing to see the progress over the years and to see it like this happen now. It's just like you've taken it to such an extreme level, and I am so proud of everybody on the committee. They meet every week. Every week they are on calls, writing notes, submitting it, and it is phenomenal. I mean, they've been doing it for years, every week, and it's just, I mean, it's like I can't say enough about it. I am curious. I forgot to ask you, Matt. Do you have peer mentoring in your future?
Great question. I love that you're asking it. So yeah, because we've kind of that's all been merged into one, I'd say, in the program, right? So there's peer mentoring and then kind of your traditional mentoring of kind of career changers as well. So those three things are definitely separate. So that's part of what we're bringing in the software, where we're exploring this concept of running those as different programs. And I think that's going to be that dividing line where we're going to see, do you want to sign up for peer mentoring or do you want a traditional mentor-mentee relationship? We're going to work on some of that naming, but absolutely peer mentoring. I'd say right now, and why we're bringing the software is a lot of this is randomly assigned, which has a beauty, right? I think there's beauty in the randomness, but we're working on making sure there is, if someone wants to fit into something, they can. So we're exploring that skill-based mentoring, that kind of more selective mentoring programs. Software is absolutely going to help with that.
Awesome.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, 100%. So, because I don't want people to think that they have 20 years experience and this program isn't for them.
Right. So there's lots of people who just need to, you and I have connected like that too, Ken, right?
Exactly.
It's just like, what am I, how am I going to, what am I doing next? So it's not always mentoring to kind of grow, it's mentoring to help decide. And so absolutely, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, and I would also like to throw in there, I mean, we've had mentors that, are people that are well established in their field. And I mean, sometimes just getting together with somebody else gives you a fresh perspective and really helps.
Loved it. This was amazing. So give yourselves a round of applause. So we're looking forward next year to see all the progress that you make with the new tool. And
book us for next September, Ken.
How many people do you? I will. How many people do you have in the program?
We're topping around 60 right now, including everyone.
Wow,
mentees and
that's
mentors.
pretty amazing.
Yep.
60 people. That's fantastic. So very nice. All right, I think that ends it.